Alright, well, everyone, Sanju Che here. It's crazy how fast the end of these months come along, but we're here, end of August, final day. Give me one sec, just want to make sure everything is good. And I take it that my audio should be decent for the most part. Hold on. That's audio. Nope. Let's change this. Okay, sorry, that's as well. Alright, gentlemen, yeah, so as I was saying, welcome to the end of month subscriber stream, and if the King Bio Wagon, if the thumbnail is anything to go by and the title, then you know you have a pretty good idea of what we'll be talking about. What I wanted to just kind of chill, discuss with you guys, at least for the next hour. I mean, we're kind of winding down to the end of the year. So I guess we can look forward to that, annual 5-hour live stream for in December, which is gonna be crazy. But let's see how that goes, especially since I haven't been doing much content this year for the most part. So yeah. Yeah, how is everyone? Bio, how are you? Should have never happened. Yeah, I hear some what I would call unnecessary drama regarding that interview. I don't know, based on what I see, it seems like it's serious but not that serious. People being super sensitive, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hold on, how's my audio sounding? Yeah, I was seeing that in terms of them saying in terms of the the PDF allegations essentially, but and then I was also seeing some persons trying to dissect the nuance of the term used in Japanese and all of that. Oh yeah, man, so like people just need to. My take so far, based on what I've seen. Like, yeah, on the surface, like, oh shit, like he calls Sarada and she's like just 16, yada yada. Come on, now. It's not that serious. It's really not that serious. Cause people really say, yo, they try cancel Kishimoto in 2024. Is that where we're at? Really? Is that where we're really at? It's actually crazy to me. But all that aside, one of the annoying things that I find is that, to me, it seems like for the you'd think they would have had this interview on the official Naruto website as we have over here, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's actually kind of annoying that they don't have the interview, because it's been a week since the interview, right? It was the 24th or 23rd and 24th, or was it 24th and 25th? But the point is, you would have thought that you would think that somebody like behind, like a Shueisha or whatever would say, yo, this is prime material for the website. Somebody go with the interview with the panel, get the information, get the interview translated, something. But nothing yet on the official Naruto websites, and it just seems a way to me that you have to depend on the community, which there's nothing wrong with that, because if the last 10-20 years is anything to go by when it comes down to like video games or just anything, even like modding community or various games, it does seem like the community does things better. But I'm kind of going off on a tangent there. The point is, yeah, you'd have to go on like Twitter, X, or Reddit to get like translations. So yeah, just interesting to me, very interesting. That's not the case. That's not already there. But I guess we'll see if it gets updated in the coming week or days. I guess we'll see. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you have this whole drama regarding Kishimoto on this interview and his comments. Hold on, I'm just moving this down on Sarada, and yeah, people. It's serious, but not that serious. Really and truly, in my opinion, it's not serious. Let's just calm down, people. Calm down. Yeah. So yeah. Where do I even start? where do I even start, really? All right. So back in, let me see if I can find when that would have been. Would this have been 2021? Kishimoto. I'm gonna search for like one of my old videos. So yeah, I would have done some videos here regarding yeah, so this is 3 years ago. Let me just pull these up. And this one, yeah. So these would have been old videos of mine.
Yo,
hold on. Let me switch. Hold on. Does it?
Sanjuchi.
Oh. Yeah, let me switch this to. Yeah, the sub speaker is not working. Switch this to headphones. Breaking news. Okay, yo. Okay, that's better. Much better. Alright, so this would have been back in 2020. That's 4 years ago, basically, when Kishimoto took over after Kodachi was removed. I think that's chapter 52 or 53, right? And I mean, I've said it in a lot of streams, in a few videos like we have here, leading up to this point, that yeah, even though the writing style does feel, it felt more like Kishimoto after he took over, quote unquote, but I have gone on to express my like curiosity, or not necessarily concerns, but just like extreme curiosity if it was really him writing the manga, because everybody that's discussed this in the past would have pointed out that even on the covers you would have creator supervisor Masashi Kishimoto and art by Mikio Ikimoto, as opposed to when Kodachi was writing it, it was stamped and sealed like script Ukyo Kodachi, and that wasn't the case with when Kishimoto took over. And yeah, I'm gonna get to that in terms of talking about that, but I'm kind of just trying to build up where I was coming from when it came on to wondering if Kishimoto was the one writing. But the point is that when Kishimoto came back, apart from like the initial announcement by like the powers that be in the background, I found it very odd that like no other author or anybody in the industry like had any comments, nothing to say about Kishimoto coming back. It just felt like a ghost type of situation for the most part. So that's the thing. And I mean, based on how the interviews went, I'll go over the translations that I can find here on Twitter. I mean, the basic thing in a nutshell is that yes, it is Kishimoto's drafts. He's apparently written like a draft until the end of the story. From now, well, I guess I would assume from chapter 52 until the end of the story. And between him and Ikimoto working together, if there's any changes that Ikimoto wants to do, they discuss it and then they decide on it and make changes. But for the most part, you could conclusively say now that it's a collaborative effort between Ikimoto and Kishimoto when it comes on to the writing, which is more than fine. So that's the BS, that is the conclusion, that is facts in terms of what the writing situation is behind the scenes for the Boruto story, or the manga specifically. So yeah. yes. Now in terms of, let's kind of get into the meat of the matter for the most part, which would have been some of the interview questions. I don't think this is the entire thing, and some of the responses, and we can talk about them. Now that seems like these seem a bit small. Credit goes, or shout out to Uzu Repo here, even though I'm sure a lot of other accounts probably have either have these translations or have reposted them, but still shout out to Uzu Repo here. What I'll do, I'll save the image, desktop. 1. Save images. Desktop. 2. Is there like another one? Hold on. And 3. JPEG. Alright. So let us kind of get into it here in terms of boom. People gonna interpret it as Kishi having nothing to do with it. Yeah, I know, because it's very reminiscent of the whole, you know, Dragon Ball Super situation, and I think that's going to be the first assumption that persons think when it's like, yo, he's just doing the draft. That sounds like Toriyama. Maybe he's just handing in bullet points or something like that. But my interpretation is that it would have been much more detailed than what Toriyama would have done for Dragon Ball Super. Sorry. I think it's much more detailed than that. But anyway, let's kind of get into it and see what's saying. So the interview with Masashi Kishimoto and Ukyo Kodachi is translated from the French transcription provided by another ex-user here, eRise, so shout out to them as well. At eRise wasn't able to transcribe the first question and part of its answer, hence the translation starting mid-sentence. Okay, fine. So let's go. So Mikio Ikimoto, hereafter Ikimoto. What I mean is that things don't always go as planned. Small changes have often been made right from the beginning, while little by little the story develops in a direction that's different from Kishimoto sensei's outline. Which is fine, because obviously if you have an outline from the start and you're writing, it's like, yo, dog, like, I don't know, I feel like this could have changed here, so obviously things are going to be, by the end of the story, it might be drastically different from, you know, how Kishimoto had set things out in his draft. Anyway, various factors can explain this, but the biggest reason is that I needed to create for myself a new outcome for the shonen part and a concept for the seinen part. Okay, interesting. Hold on, let me just probably go over to this scene here and probably take off the chat for now. Okay, I think that should be a little bit of a no. So then the vision, but Ikimoto kept them alive. Yeah, I was hearing that too. Where am I? Okay, so the biggest reason is that I needed to create for myself a new outcome for the shonen part and concept for the seinen part. Interesting. Once that was decided, Ada and Damon were born. Kashin Koji's role was renewed, so I assume Kashin Koji was supposed to just die in the original draft, and Amado's escape to Konoha followed. Okay. Moreover, Koji should have died a long time ago. I did hear that before. To be honest, an even more important character's life was also spared. Who knows? Maybe that might have been Sasuke, and probably the middle ground was just turning Sasuke into a tree. That's my guess there. Even if the initial idea is to make the manga even more engaging, we are far removed from what was originally planned. Currently, I'm in the situation of developing the story on my own. So that's where the kind of like, you know, I guess conflict is, where in person's mind, like, oh, maybe that statement alone might make persons lean more towards, okay, Kishimoto's not writing really. So anyway, so I think the biggest challenge in the production of Boruto, including for Kishimoto sensei, who gives me his approval, is to continue to handle successive unforeseen changes. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so in this question, as the creator of Naruto, what did you think of switching from Boruto's supervisor to its scriptwriter? Okay, so Kishimoto here is saying, concerning Boruto, I have no worries because I wrote the major points of the story draft, which acts as a template up to the end of the story, and I've already handed it over to Ikimoto-san. If there are points to modify, we discuss them together and continue on by agreement, so there's no problem. Above all, Ikimoto-san creates a Nemu, okay, not sure what that means, every month. Is that Nemu? Is that like some translation? I don't know. Someone could fill me in there. Possible. But anyway, with ideas, or maybe it's like, it should be menu. Maybe, I don't know. With ideas, development, and characters that surpass my story draft. So even though I check it every month, I hardly have anything to say. Ikimoto is someone I trust and who has helped me a long time in the production team for Naruto. So I knew he was amazing in drawing as well as storytelling. Even though some persons I think up to this day would still disagree with, Ikimoto's art style. He's definitely improved, as I've said that as well myself. But yeah, Kishimoto's art style for Naruto still reigns supreme in my my honest opinion. So anyway, so I knew he was amazing in drawing as well as storytelling. I wouldn't have done Boruto if Ikemoto-san hadn't agreed to take over, which I've heard as well. Okay, Nemo is the storyboard at the draft stage with dialogues. Okay. Okay, what are the steps when creating a new Boruto character? First, there's a role of the character. Okay. The basic premise is to create a character based on needs. After that, I make sure to give them an unexpected aspect. In Ada's case, she has abilities that would allow her to dominate the world. Instead, she prioritizes love and has a silly side to her. There's also the character of Hidari, who evokes Sasuke. On one hand, he displays jutsu and techniques that are reminiscent of Sasuke, while on the other hand, he reveals himself to be totally out of the box and has nothing to do with Sasuke. To sum it up, it's about Gap Moi. Interesting. Gap Moi, attraction that arises when a person reveals an aspect very different from what's expected from them. This technique allows for an easy expression of what makes people charming. Okay, I can understand that. It's kind of like with me when, maybe I guess this is for a lot of guys. Maybe the quiet, quote unquote, shy girl with the freaky side that you wouldn't expect. It's like, oh, the contrast hits you the kind of like whiplash. It's like, oh shit, this is charming, So I can understand that. So pretty much. All right, cool. I see. So I would imagine from that train of logic, I'm kind of thinking if that can be applied to someone like Amado as well. Or do we continue to suspect that he's, sus? So that is the thing. Okay. But I guess you would have to be careful with that, because I mean, if I don't think it would apply to every character, but if he consistently does that, I guess having characters having those contrasting aspects of themselves could be played out. But I guess we'll see as we go along. All right. So let us continue with this interview here. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining the stream. Of course, like up. Hope you guys are doing well. This is the end of month subscriber stream here. We do it the last day or second to last day of every month. So yeah. So we're just going over the interview with Kishimoto and Ikemoto that was recently held about a week ago. Giving my take and just finally confirming that Kishimoto and Ikemoto are the ones working on this collaboratively, beyond what we already knew. Anyway, fashion seems to be a key focus of character design in Boruto. Where do you get your inspiration? So Ikemoto goes on to say, when conceiving a character, their temperament, their thinking and their taste should be reflected in their clothes. First of all, you need to know if the character cares about clothing or not at all. Understanding the level of importance they place on functionality and appearance. Even if it's unconscious, an outfit is a result of psychological factors at work, which ties into what I've heard regarding, Sarada dressing the way she does. Looking at it now, it's very reminiscent of, what Boruto used to wear, pre-time skip essentially. Anyway, moreover, fashion probably exists in a village or region. For example, Boruto currently fights while carrying the weight of a difficult mission on his shoulders. However, he pays close attention to behaving like Sasuke and having his presence. It's his way of doing things, and it's also a tribute to his teacher. It also shows that he has a lot of self-esteem because he grew up and lived in a privileged environment surrounded by the love of his family and friends. It's the opposite for Kawaki. Having no self-esteem, he is indifferent to clothes. When he was with Kara, he wore what Amado prepared for him, and today he dresses without thinking about what Ada buys for him. When his sleeve is torn, he leaves it as it is. Sarada, on the other hand, in her young woman version, wears a top so large it reveals her shoulders. That's because it's a men's clothing brand that Boruto likes and wears. When Boruto leaves the village, feeling lots of emotions, Sarada buys a garment from this shop. As you can see, in my case, character design and fashion are inseparable elements. Okay, okay, that makes sense. You know, it kind of comes back to, you know, using, I would say, basically every element of the story to tell the story, from not just what the characters say and do. Of course, it would fall under like show don't tell for the most part. Probably like the environments. What else could I say? Of course, the clothes as well. So as opposed to what I would go with in terms of the whole themes of, you know, tradition versus, you know, I guess, what's the term I'm looking for here? What's the term I'm looking for? Hold on. Okay, just for like a better expression, like traditional way versus the modern way of doing things, or as the times go on, you know, characters are going to want to dress differently compared to that previous era, from Naruto's era essentially. So I would have basically classed the characters dressing the way they do as kind of tying into that theme, because of course in Boruto we're kind of struggling with the idea of like, is the are shinobi even still relevant? So tying that back into characters not necessarily dressing like shinobi anymore, I would have more so tied it to that. But of course kind of tying it to like all these psychological factors, and if the characters even care about the clothes, and having certain factors in the character's life kind of influencing how they dress. That could be something to look forward to going into the future as the characters get more development, to see if they, like, for example, will Boruto eventually change, you know, his clothing? Like maybe he'll maintain the Sasuke S, the Uchiha S type of look, but kind of make it more his own. Maybe he'll make some adjustments, and that will tie into maybe some development that will happen with his character. So, you know, that could be cool. Anyway, is there a character or scene in Naruto that you wish you had explored further? Okay, I would have liked to delve deeper into the character of Sakura Haruno. She's the only one whose parents weren't actually drawn. I should have talked about them earlier in the story, but I missed the chance, and it became too complicated to do so in the middle and at the end of the story. In the movie version, I showed her parents a little, but in the main story, I would have liked to develop a scene centered around Sakura's family. I agree. I don't know. Okay, as an ignorant person here in the West, who obviously isn't like fully, I can't get a full appreciation for the experience of writing and developing manga, because obviously I've never done it myself. From that perspective, I could say that, yeah, you missed the chance, but you could have probably just shown in a flashback, a quick, you know, flashback there or something, you know. So yeah, but who knows, maybe getting into it and editors and them kind of also kind of helping to direct the direction the story is going to go, that's a factor as well. So what are you gonna do? But as I would have pointed out previously, I'm currently rewatching the Naruto anime, skipping the fillers, and well, mainly to, you know, showcase the story to my friend Ray. And honestly, like, I feel like so much more could have been done with Sakura, to be honest. Like, not appearance aside, I think there, like, so much more could have been done. And honestly, I think if a focus was like made to make Sakura's whole, I guess, move pool a bit more creative going forward after that first arc in Shippuden, then you would have had the time and the necessity to actually kind of delve out other aspects of our, you know, our background, our life even more. So that's just my 2 cents there. Let's see. What are the similarities and differences in the relationship between Naruto and Sasuke and Boruto and Kawaki? So Kishimoto says, in fact, Naruto and Sasuke are very similar. They aren't that intelligent. Both have a go-getter side, and they've both lost something important. So even if they're in opposition, these characters are alike in their essence. As for Boruto and Kawaki, however, their very existence is completely opposite. Boruto is a character who doesn't realize how lucky he is, despite having a lot from the start. Kawaki is a character who has lost everything and doesn't realize his own value. Naruto and Sasuke and Boruto and Kawaki are rivals in the story, but I think their relationships are pretty different in Naruto and Boruto. What do you guys think about that? Let's see what Ikimoto says. In the Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto Kawaki relationships, each one is a rival to the other to assert their worth. However, their opposition is very different. In Naruto, the protagonist is constantly in opposition in which he expresses and conveys what he feels to Sasuke. By doing this, he evolves as a protagonist. On the other hand, in Boruto, it's Kawaki who is in the position of someone who shows a strong attachment to the main character Boruto. Boruto, having become a young man, is a character who is fully evolved at once from the beginning. He's insightful and with great open-mindedness. Compared to Kawaki, the importance of what he carries on his shoulders is different. It'll be more like Kawaki showing evolution as a character. Besides that, I think there are numerous contrasts between Naruto's scheme and that of Boruto. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, because, yeah, with Naruto and Sasuke, of course, you had the fact that Sasuke would have lost his family, and Naruto didn't really have anything from the start, but once Sasuke lost his family, they had that common ground, so they kind of almost became, like, very similar in essence as Kishimoto would have said, essentially. And with Boruto, of course, everybody knows he's more of a character that had everything from the start, and, hold on. While Kawaki doesn't really, value himself essentially. So I guess this would kind of, in the long term, this would kind of speak to, would the story necessarily end the same as Naruto when, like, Naruto bringing back Sasuke? I think this kind of hints at the fact that this Boruto's ending is going to be different compared to Naruto. I don't think it's going to be like a Boruto and Kawaki sing Kumbaya at the end, even though Boruto has stated that his goal is to, make up with Kawaki, give him a good, fight essentially, and restore the Uzumaki household. I don't think it's going to end like that. So, yeah, just kind of reading between the lines, and I'm not even saying that's what they're saying, but you can kind of extract that from this with the dynamic between these two peers of characters, like, being very different. So yeah, all right, let me go to that third picture I saved. All right, so the path to becoming a mangaka is tough. If you had to give advice to young people who want to become mangaka, what would it be? Drawing a manga isn't only made up of enjoyable moments, but despite that, I'd like them to have fun when creating the manga. I'd like them to draw by finding something enjoyable, because even a hard worker cannot beat someone who loves what they do. That is true. I also advise having a good physical condition if it doesn't deteriorate. Keeping up with the deadlines of a serialization is tough. I think people who have a good physical condition will be able to keep their series going longer. Ikimoto goes on to say, I want to advise them to reveal what they love. Some may feel shy and not dare to do it, but that'd be a shame. The enthusiasm and knowledge one has for what they love can be powerful weapons. When work is hard, it helps to stay motivated. Even if you love something that is more niche, if you manage to gain sympathy, maybe loyal fans will encourage and follow you. About Boruto, I sometimes read comments. Okay, that's interesting. It's always interesting, I feel like, if an author, a person on the production side is like reading comments online, because it can spiral into so many flavors of comments, from the extreme end to, like, say, Boruto sucks, or this is trash, to the persons who sing high praises of it. So it'd be interesting to hear his thoughts. Anyway, some find it strange that all the female characters wear high heels even though they are ninjas. However, that's my taste, so that's how it is. It's one of the things that helps maintain my motivation. Originally, they are professionals at chakra control, so for them it's not a problem. After all, they are ninjas of the new generation. The fact that you can do these kinds of things is also an advantage of manga. Back to the subject, especially for people who don't have a defined theme for their manga and don't know what to draw, I think the quickest way to get there is to reflect what you like and amplify it little by little. If you don't particularly like anything, you can start by searching for what you like. You might find a good idea at the same time. So Ikimoto sensei, what's your favorite animal in Naruto or Boruto? Ikimoto says the subordinate toads controlled by Kashin Koji. They aren't animals in the strict sense, but scientific ninja tools created artificially. But as we live in a time where people say that future robots and AI will have souls, I also like Mitsuki's Little Snake. And you, Kishimoto, what's your favorite animal in Naruto or Boruto? For me, it's Gamabunta. Alright. Cool. I don't know if this is the entire interview. Of course, you guys can let me know for the most part. But I think this kind of covered like the main thing that I really wanted, which was kind of confirming the whole writing situation when it came on to the Boruto manga for the most part. It's interesting, you know, like we're in an era. No, I find it interesting, like when it came on to like Dragon Ball and Naruto going into their modern eras, right? Like both authors have made the decision to just do drafts, and then you have more so on the Dragon Ball side, reimaginings are, you know, various interpretations of that draft. But again, I don't think it's going to be as, I don't think it's as hands off when it comes on to Boruto when Kishimoto is concerned. I think he has a decent draft up to the end of the story. But given that the story is going like in a drastically different direction compared to his draft, I would be interested, like probably by the end of the Boruto story or closer to the end, to see like that draft in more details. I think that would be a good idea if they actually put that out. You said there's more about that that's important. Okay, that's fine. I guess I'll look that up in my spare time there for the most part. Hold on. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'll look that up in my spare time for the most part. But yeah, it would be interesting if he put out like the draft by the time the Boruto manga ended. I'd be interested to hear like the comments and people saying, yo, no man, it should have went this way, they should have changed this or whatever the case may be. But I'm thinking about it now. If like Kashin Koji was supposed to be like retired from the story, Cole was supposed to die. Like I'm kind of curious like what direction that the story was going to really take. Is it that we would have gotten the sentient, the evolved Ten Tails, the Shinju people? Would we have gotten them earlier if Cole was supposed to die? And then how would he have died for the most part? Would it be like pre-time skip, early on in Two Blue Vortex? Yeah, I that's what I'm saying. Because you realize they didn't really explicitly say Sasuke, but they did mention that another important character was supposed to die, which I'm assuming would have been Sasuke. But the middle ground, maybe Ikimoto's like, yo, I don't think we should kill Sasuke, and they maybe talked it over. And the middle ground between the two of them were like, okay, let's kind of just put him in a tree. Let's kind of just remove him from the story. I think that might have been the discussion between Ikimoto and Kishimoto there. So yeah, so but I'm just continually curious in terms of the direction the story would have taken, how the story would genuinely look at this point if we were just following Kishimoto's draft one for one. So very interesting, because all right, if Kashin Koji is taken out after the Ishiki fight, but granted, they did basically say that changes have been made from even the start of the story. So even trying to guess what the story would have been like if I kind of say make Kashin Koji stay quote unquote dead after the Ishiki fight, and then have Code maybe die when he fights Boruto at the start of Two Blue Vortex. Maybe that fight was originally longer, maybe like an extra half of a chapter, and then Boruto would have killed him maybe. So who knows, honestly. Let me just bring up back that first page there. It's crazy to me, fam. Crazy. Let's see. I check it out. Or was it the second page? I think it was the second page. Well, third page, rather. Even if the addition of the estimate the manga even more engaging, we are far removed from what was originally planned. Okay, yeah. So the fact that he says we are far removed from what was originally planned, that yeah, it's a drastically different story. That's what Kishimoto thought about Naruto's aside swapping realities, and Kishimoto experimented with Boruto and Kawaki. Oh, really? That was actually a thing? Well, then again, I mean, Naruto did say at one point, like, you know, their stories could have been like, they could have been in each other's situation at one point. Like, Naruto could have been the Sasuke, and Sasuke could have been the Naruto in the situation back in Naruto. So I guess if you're telling me that this whole omnipotence plotline is like oh, let me take that idea to the extreme. That could be interesting. That could be interesting for the most part. But you know, given all that's happened as of late with Boruto, like I think they've like kind of solidified a way for them to really milk this series and franchise for the most part, because they could do like a spin-off, like, oh, what if Naruto did die by Ishiki, or you know, in terms of those alternate possibilities, thanks to Kashin Kochi's prescience. That'd be ridiculous. Still, but I mean, it's possible. They could really and truly milk it. Really and truly. Oh my god, it's crazy. But well, yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I'm kind of glad they kind of finally came out with an interview for Kishimoto 4 years later, because you guys can't blame me, as I was kind of building up in the background to where I was coming from in terms of my train of thought. It was that, yeah, Kishimoto came back, but nobody made a big deal about it. Like, apart from us, the fans, and the initial news releases and all of that, but there's no other author, no Oda, no nothing saying, oh, yo, Kishimoto, welcome back. So it makes sense why they didn't, I guess, because if he's kind of hands-off, well, kinda, probably not as hands-off as Toriyama with Dragon Ball Super, but for the most part, he's done the draft, we're just having meetings and discussing story changes, then fine, I can understand. And of course, I did hear about him kind of potentially dropping some hints that he has, or maybe wants to do like another manga at some point, but we'll see how that goes. We'll wait and get some more confirmation, because yeah, Samurai 8 didn't really go so hot. So yeah. So I'm saying he still checks it every month essentially, and they do discuss changes. So right now it seems like it's mostly Ikemoto, but I chalk it up to a collaborative effort between the two of them writing the story. But Ikemoto seems like he's making a lot of the carrying a lot of the weight when it comes on to writing the story differently from the draft, at least. So yeah, well, interesting. All I say, just have him post the draft at some point, because that would be interesting, honestly. Hold on. It's a collab. Yeah. So I kind of want. I'm really curious, like, what's on the final page. Ikemoto didn't want to waste Code's design. Probably that. But like, yo, Kishimoto, like we just designed the man. We can't kill him off. I know you want to do this whole, oh, let's go darker than Naruto and kill off everybody, but listen, fam, I spent like 10 days on that design. I can imagine some kind of funny conversation going on like that. So yeah, and it makes sense, because it seems like Kishimoto has this like unrivaled faith in Ikemoto, because I mean, if the fact he admits that, yo, if Ikemoto wasn't on, I ain't doing this Boruto story. So yeah. So the working relationship between these two obviously is like to that gold standard, especially since Ikemoto has been there with him since like OG Naruto days. Because you wanted to go full on Gege. Yeah, clearly. Clearly. It's actually insane, fam. Actually insane. So, I mean, to be fair, they could still, similar to how I was speaking about a spin-off, they could still do an adaptation of, you know, Boruto's original draft and kind of chalk it up to like, oh, what was one of the alternate possibilities that one could have seen using their whole prescience ability. They could still do that. I think that would be an interesting project. Obviously, it wouldn't be, it would fall into that. It wouldn't be filler per se if you want to really do some partial mental gymnastics. So that could be interesting as well. Very interesting. So yeah, well, all in all, I haven't heard any. You guys were saying that the rest of the interview, I didn't cover all of it, but there's more, but it's not really important. So I would go on to assume they haven't really spoken anything in relation to the anime, which makes sense. They wouldn't really have anything to say on that, or if anything is going to be said, I would imagine if they know anything, they may have been told, hey, just wait till Jump Festa. Granted, if there's anything in the pipeline for Naruto for 2025 in terms of anime, I mean, yeah, there's a possibility that the 4 part 1 Naruto episodes could be a thing for 2025, but who knows? Who knows? Who really knows at this point? Because we haven't heard any updates, any news, so yeah, there's that. Alright, cool. I just really wanted to kind of cover and give my 2 cents on the whole Boruto interview, so there's that. Going back to even chapter 13. Let's see, was there anything that I really missed from the reaction review? I don't think so. I was thinking of doing like a dedicated video, just kind of talking and discussing a whole idea that, you know, Kawaki isn't really as strong as we would have originally thought, or I would have originally thought. The fact that he would have lost the code pre-time skip, I find very interesting to say the least. There are things touched by one after another, that these are glimpses of future realities. That because that wasn't enough until the time was right, so there. Kawaki's body and found his one tree found would have perished. If you guys can remind me, this might be like a hard thing to remember, but was there a statement pre-time skip that either by Shikamaru or somebody else that nobody in the village could handle or take Kawaki now that like Naruto's lost the 9 tails or something like that? Because I'm trying to kind of get the idea of the power scale in my head, because if Kawaki is still really, yeah, Kawaki would go on to lose to a tremendously strong code. So code stronger than Jigen, stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, but code still beats Kawaki, who I thought would have been like, well, you know, it's funny because when we were just getting into the whole, you know, they're becoming 80%, 100% Otsutsuki, I thought it would have been a case like, oh, they're just as strong as Ishiki or etc. But the more the story goes on, it seems like that's not necessarily the case. Hold on, here's first. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, let's kind of talk about what our expectations are for chapter 14 of the Two Blue Vortex manga, because now that Boruto has been like captured by Konoha, I mean, what's the next move? I think it kind of leads to this interesting, I don't want to say prison break when it comes on to Boruto, but it could be an opportunity to get reintroduced to some old characters like Ibiki, maybe, just maybe, and to also see how someone like Shikamaru is going to handle this, because they have Boruto now. I would imagine that the elders will be putting pressure on him to, you know, to kill Boruto, etc., etc. So I'm wondering how that's going to go, what the conversation will be between, you know, Sarada and you know, Kawaki. Like, how is that going to resolve? Because Kawaki is gonna definitely want Boruto locked up. He'll definitely have his conversation with Boruto. Probably Shikamaru will talk to him and all that. And I'm wondering if it's going to come to a situation where Kawaki is going to suspect Shikamaru, causing more tension and conflict there in the village. You know, kind of weakening things on the quote-unquote good guy's side. So there's that. And then, you know, the possibilities are endless, because of course you have characters like Himawari, where of course she hasn't been in a situation similar to, like, say, like a Mitsuki, where she has to be questioning everything and all of that, and you're showing her evidence that X, Y, and Z. But she's already like made the conclusion that, yo, Boruto doesn't, I don't think Boruto would have done that. I think he's a good guy, etc., etc. So I'm wondering what can come from a conversation between Boruto and Himawari as well. That could be interesting. I think they'll let him go free, or at least be less hostile in exchange for his aid. True, true, true. Because of course there is the situation of the, you know, the fact that Konoha just got their asses kicked for the most part, and Boruto was unseen to help them out. If they if he wasn't there, who knows how it would have actually went. So I could see that happening as well. Trying to get information. But then again, with all that said, I'm wondering how things are gonna go on like Kashin Koji's side. The Divine Trees. Of course, they're working on producing a new sentient Shinju, which we're assuming is oh wow, I'm forgetting Gaara's son name. Shinki, yeah. So as persons would have basically talked about already, that would be an interesting way, a nice way to kind of segue into including the Sand Village, which, all things considered, even though the five great nations are on good terms, the Sand Village would be I guess a nice callback to form for who to start involving in the conflict as well, kind of steadily expanding the scope of the characters that are included on panel, because you guys know, I think one of the Boruto manga's weakness is just that, the fact that I have to be suspending my belief that all these previous characters are nowhere to be seen. You're not included. And of course, I do chalk it up to, of course, this is a monthly manga. We have to only include a certain cast of characters. We have to kind of work with a certain limited set of characters, and probably hence why when it comes on to the anime, you have the inclusion of other characters like Kakashi. You'll see him here and there, and some other characters. But manga-wise, it's like we're kind of steady, tight-knit group of characters, honestly. So I think if we kind of steadily include other villages by having them be turned into like divine trees, then yeah, it could work. It could work. Kind of get them involved. So it could be interesting, but I guess we have to take our time. To be honest, if this could be just every 3 weeks instead, not even bi-weekly, but every 3 weeks would be, I think, would go a long way to help rectifying this issue. But I guess we'll see. Now, Himawari aside, Sarada aside, and Kawaki, you can have some expectations, some nice predictions in terms of them having conversations with Boruto in terms of how it's going to go. But I'm wondering if there's anything in the drafts, in the works for Konohamaru going forward, because obviously he is a target for Matsuri. Well, him and the Inashika Cho kids. So I'm kind of wondering what's the next step for a character like him as well, and can he benefit from having a conversation with Boruto going forward for like chapter 14? Can that kind of set him off on like some, wouldn't want to say journey, but some kind of cascading like character growth, arc development? Because I don't know, it just kind of feels like Konohamaru is stagnant, and maybe it might be, I will admit, maybe it's the impression that a lot of us have been getting from, watching the Naruto anime. Maybe manga wise, I don't know, if you read the Naruto manga from start, maybe you can tell me if Konohamaru's role was just overly exaggerated by the anime, and as a result of that, maybe I should kind of temper my expectations when it comes on to what can happen with him going forward with Two Blue Vortex. Granted, again, he is still a target for Matsuri, so yeah. I still would expect that some arc needs to happen with him when it comes on to this story. And we do know he did want to be Hokage. I don't know if that's still the case. I don't think we've heard him necessarily talk or mention even still wanting to be Hokage since Boruto started. So yeah, there's that. And oh yes, I forgot about this. Kawaki kind of hiding the fact that he kind of destroyed Kashin Koji's toad. So there's that. I'm kind of wondering if Kawaki at some point is going to try to locate Kashin Koji, or even what Koji himself is going to do. Because yeah, if Boruto's captured and Boruto is essential to their plans, like, he needs him. But what could happen, is that I know some persons, maybe they've already accepted the explanation for prescience, but maybe it could be a case we could get a better insight into any other nuances when it comes on to the whole prescience ability, like how we've been getting for omnipotence. So that would be nice. Like when he's seeing all possible futures, like, can he just kind of take in all that information in an instant? Does he have to kind of, is there like a certain time frame he has to sit and like watch through all these possible futures? Does he kind of eventually get to the point where it's like, okay, like there's too many, I can't watch all of this? So I'm kind of wondering. So I'm wondering if he's going to like just sit and kind of like, okay, if I go into Konoha, if I do this, he'll feel kind of try looking into all the possibilities and make a decision like, okay, let me try with this, train of thought, essentially. I need Orochimaru involved. Yeah, Orochimaru definitely needs to be involved when it comes on to this story. Apart from like the themes of tradition versus the modern era versus science and technology and just technological advancements, even from the perspective of the karma and how it works in terms of the Otsutsuki taking over other person's bodies, and it seemingly being like a better version of Orochimaru's whole immortality jutsu that he would have to spend 3 years switching bodies. So there's that. It would be interesting if Orochimaru's immortality jutsu is just like some kind of ninjutsu replica of the karma shinjutsu, essentially. So that would be that. Given that fact, I would think that Orochimaru should rightfully be in this manga to have him or see him get an appreciation for how the Otsutsuki do things when it comes on to living forever, quote unquote. So yeah, it just seems like so strange not to have a character like Orochimaru really involved right now. Or I don't know if it's a case similar to like the decision to have Naruto and Sasuke like removed from the story previously, in the sense that, oh, they're too strong, we need to kind of remove them out of the story to kind of raise the stakes and tension, even though Boruto is stronger than them. No. So it's like the reason for removing them from the story isn't really there anymore. But the point is, a character like Orochimaru seems like it would be like a no-brainer to involve in this story right now going forward. So a bit to see what's gonna emerge. find, harvest it. They had the perfect opportunity with the hideout to introduce him, but Orochimaru can still have a role. Yeah, I thought they would have done that when we got the spoilers, or even the official spoilers for this chapter, but jeez, it would have been so interesting to see that, you know, Kashin Koji like and Orochimaru were working together. So there's that. And you know what I think it is as well? I think it's a situation where, like, it's been so long since characters like Orochimaru and those characters, they haven't been in the Boruto manga, like, at all per se. So it's kind of, I think it's a situation where, like, how do you introduce or reintroduce these characters in the manga and make it make sense? Like, how would you explain where they've been all this time? So I think it's maybe it's even a situation where, like, they've kind of written themselves into a corner to a degree, because what are you gonna say? I was at the hot springs. So no, let's be real. If you're introducing Orochimaru, Kakashi, Tsunade, and some of these characters in the manga, no, what is the excuse you give for where these characters have been? That's like something that just came to me. Like, that might be an issue as well. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they haven't been, you know, pulling these legacy characters back into the story. So who knows? I mean, the fact that, thinking about it, like 15, 16 years ago in story, the Cloud Village had a chakra cannon that could, you know, hypothetically, theoretically, whichever Kali destroy the moon. Maybe, who knows, maybe Orochimaru built a spaceship, had some characters come with him. Let's go explore space. Let's see if we can find the Otsutsuki home world. I don't know. Probably some weird shit like that. I don't know. But that could be a possibility. Like, that's the wildest thing I could come up with to say, like, as an excuse for, like, where these characters have been. But then again, something that major, you would think they would have, like, at least mentioned it in passing. But that's not the case either, so what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? But anyway, the next question is, makes me wonder if they dropped the Kakashi role. Well, said he would be in. Who is playing further to be a spoiler? Yeah, I was hearing them saying some other character, but they didn't want to really spoil. Guess we'll see. Guess we will see. I was kind of wondering though, in terms of the Shinju, like, what's their next move? Because I imagine, like, next chapter we'll probably have, like, Shikamaru talking to the elders, or Shikamaru talking to the other Kage, or something to kind of report that, you know, Matsuri and Mushimi, hopefully I'm saying his name right, actually came and attacked, etc, etc. And then what did the Shinju do? They create this new Shinju, then what? I don't see any reason for them to wait. I don't see why they can't just go back to the village like right away. I don't know. But I guess it depends on Jura still, in terms of what he wants to do. I mean, unless something else comes up to really pique their curiosity and sideline them, then that's the only thing. But other than that, I don't really see the story in terms of pace slowing down too much, unless, like, we're going to learn, like, a lot of information with the next chapter regarding the Ten Tails and the Shinjus. Like, maybe all of them kind of talking to each other, revealing certain information that, you know, we don't know yet. So there's definitely that. Or who knows, maybe this new Shinju might have the ability to kind of snuff out Kashin Koji. That could be a thing as well. So who knows? The possibilities are endless, as I always say. anything I could say here. I'm not really expecting anything for like Sarada within like the rest of this volume per se. Unless the only thing I could probably predict is that situation where Boruto has to break out or breaking out, and like some situation goes down where she has to activate her Mangekyo Sharingan. That's the only thing I could possibly say in regards to that. But I don't really see Sarada becoming getting anything like anything major happening until like next volume. So that, yeah, that's basically December's chapter, or basically the start of next year, somewhere in 2025 for the first quarter. But I think this is a good thing. I think Boruto as a whole, as a character himself, has been dominating the story for the most part. So with him kind of unconscious and, you know, in shackles, it should give a lot of the other characters a nice opportunity to shine as well. Action next chapter. Yeah, that's a high possibility as well, you know, getting to see Amado, because he's been awfully quiet this whole time. So that's that. And bro, I'm just ready for chapter 14, man. Ready for chapter 14. I wonder if there's any other moves that Kashin Koji would have taught Boruto, because I'm thinking about it like this. He has Flying Thunder God and Rasengan Uzihiko now, right? What happens now? Say it's August 31st, 2024, right? Say Boruto was originally supposed to learn Rasengan Uzihiko on, I don't know, November 1st, 2024. When we get to November 1st, 2024, what happens now? I know Kashin Koji did say it's not like relaying the information to Boruto and teaching him. It's not really, it doesn't really create a paradox per se. But time travel, future stuff always messes with my head. But the fact that he knows it now, that future would have changed. Yeah. I mean, as he says, yeah, the future isn't necessarily one straight line. There's always multiple possibilities. There's still a straight path. Yes. So, but I'm kind of wondering, like, if he wasn't gonna learn here, like, when he gets to those points, are the person or the situation that would have caused him to learn, what happens at that point? No. But you know, it's really OP because, yo, if man could ever look at the future, yo, Boruto is supposed to know, I don't know, Shidori Maximus or something like that as well. So I'm gonna teach you. I like all these alternate possibilities. Let me teach you. But the nuance that I want to get as well is that since the future is always changing based on which branch is taken, right? So he knows Rasengan Uzihiko. No, like what if he's like viewing like a future where Boruto learns, I don't know, just for argument's sake, Edo Tensei, and it's like, but since Boruto made this slight decision to, like, I don't know, walk on a leaf outside, like that future that Kashin Koji was looking at the time just kind of disappears. Does it work like that as well? Like, I'm wondering, you know, in the future, and it doesn't matter too much because those potentials never happened. Yeah, true. Very true. But at the same time, just how far did he seize the point of future Boruto? Was he an adult, a teen? Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing. Because, well, then again, for example, because all the situations that he's talked about, they don't seem like extremely long term. They seem like they would have happened within a 3 to 5 years time span. So I don't think it's that far. So now that, you know, hold on, one question. Jura, so you learn about his own change. Okay, yeah. So basically, like the obvious plus him actually confirming, like, you know, talking to him, and the future is always changing. The fact he's learned it now, kind of like all those possible futures have changed, even if it's just a bit. Yeah, I don't think the futures he saw is up to when Boruto would have been an adult, because most of those futures, given that they have a divine tree, Boruto would have died before getting to age like 18, 19, 20. So I don't think it's beyond that. And I'm wondering, since Kashin Koji, like in those futures, obviously would have died as well, does prescience just stop there for him? Or can he see beyond his death, unlike some founding titan? Well, unlike the, like, say like the founding titan, I'm wondering, and with the combination of the attack titan, I'm wondering if it's a case like that. Can you only see up to like as far as he's alive? Similar to like how Ada's Senrigan can only see into the past up until like the day she was born, up until the present. I'm wondering if presence for the user, does it allow him to see up until the day he dies, or is it beyond that? You know, these are the little nuances I'm saying I wanted to kind of find out by probably having Kashin Koji use prescience like firsthand, so we could see next chapter. So there is that. But that aside, I want to ask you guys, like, what do you think of Boruto as a character, like, right now? I mean, he's cool, he's powerful, he has that Uchiha that Sasuke coolness and all that jazz and blues, and he definitely has grown from the days of, oh, Boruto Naruto the movie, the brat that like can't understand Naruto, etc, etc. He's definitely grown. Of course, he had that whole arc with his whole love-hate relationship with technology, and but would you say Boruto himself has really changed much in the grand scheme of things? I want to know what you guys think. Again, shout out to the persons that are, you know, kind of in and out, dropping by. Hope you guys have been having a awesome weekend so far. Yeah. Hold on. Boruto to even the start of code art, they are different people. Yeah, true. I mean, even, I guess if I even take into consideration, yeah, between the start of Boruto and even the Mojina Bandits arc, like even his interaction with the Feudal Lord's son, yeah, even that. So I guess maybe not that far. And then going from there to arc with Ao, then of course the Kara arc. I think it's just what we're missing, apart from the other characters, is just to get some nice spotlight on the other characters like Sarada, Kawaki. I think they've already started Mitsuki on a nice character arc for this part of the story. So there needs to be something to really kind of light that spark for Kawaki, Sarada, Konohamaru. Even Kashin Koji, the fact that he just came back essentially for us, so I'd be interested to see how he develops as well. and his future interactions with other characters. I'm hoping he doesn't necessarily die anytime soon, if at all, because the possibilities are endless, essentially. I mean, given all things considered, right? He's a character kind that really identifies as a shinobi, and if we're in this story that we're trying to really find out if, you know, are shinobi still needed? Do they still have a role? What does it really mean to be a shinobi in this modern age? Then I think someone like Kashin Koji definitely needs to stay alive for the long haul, or at the very least have go out in some climactic fashion with a deep story or deep moral, or something that ties into all those questions, those themes that will affect Boruto going forward, you know? Hence why, as you would have said to Kawaki, I'm still a shinobi, still a ninja. Well, that's if that that's if that scene between Boruto and Kawaki is even still like going to be a thing, or it's just going to be like one of the futures that just never happened, which should be wild. But yeah, as Kishimoto and Kimoto would have basically said, the story's always changing from the draft, so yeah, there's a possibility that scene with Kawaki and Boruto in the flash forward might not be a thing, but I doubt it. It's been so long. It would be such a sour point, I feel, for the fans if they just say, hey, no, that was just some alternate future that didn't happen based on the fact that the characters made these decisions instead. So pretty much that. Time is at 8:18. You know, something just came to me. I'm kind of wondering how. I mean, Boruto's only spent a year with Sasuke by this point. I'm kind of wondering how strong is he pre the prescience training, if I could phrase it like that. Sasuke had claimed that he doesn't really have much of anything more to teach Boruto, and Boruto just needs to kind of, you know, finalize his training on his own. So I'm kind of wondering how strong Boruto is at this point. Any bets? Well, not predictions, but any ideas, guys? Any thoughts on that? Because obviously, I don't think he would have had Uzuhiko or Flying Thunder God, but I mean, to be honest, I think. All right, so here's my little, like, you know, personal like power skill in terms of rankings between, you know, from Genin to Chunin to Jonin to Kage, and then for me, I got like super ninjas like beyond that, and then like God tier. I guess adding super to something just kind of makes that a bit cringe, but I guess super God tier. So like, I personally like Madara and Hashirama in like the super ninja tier. Do you think this Boruto will be more so like low tier super ninja basically at this point? So it'd be comparable to like, say, like the high medium to the low high tiers of the fourth grade ninja war basically at this point, maybe. Because let's be honest, Boruto, like even before leaving the academy, if we're going by the anime, or even by early Boruto, he was already like, I say, medium tier Chunin basically in terms of skill, maybe high tier Chunin. So with everything that's going on, I think having him in that low tier super ninja after this 1 year of training with Sasuke is fine. So I don't know, or maybe I'm like lowballing it. Who knows? Who knows? And then the extra 2 years of polishing his skills and learning stuff has kind of elevated him from there to, I guess, super god level. Because god level would be like the 6 Fats characters, a lot of the characters that are, you know, like adult Naruto, adult Sasuke, you know, I guess Jigen, yeah, I guess Ishiki, yeah, give or take. I have to think about all that rankings a bit more. So pretty much that. Hold on, let's see something here. General. Alright, so I guess the only other thing when it comes on to like Boruto Naruto is like, I'm wondering what's the long-term plan for Code? Because if he was supposed to die and we've, you know, we've altered the story that he's not going to die, at least anytime soon, then I'm wondering what's the grand plan for him. At what point in the story can he logically like make a return, and what can he do, or what has he been doing? Much less maybe Hydro, since he just learned most of Sasuke's jutsu. Yeah, I mean, could be Hydronin, wouldn't be too bad. Because, you know, the interesting thing about Naruto characters, you know, you have you have where they perform at on an average daily basis, and then you have those exceptional moments where, like, no, you definitely have to put these characters in like another tier. Think of like how Naruto performed against Gaara. Like, bro, you could arguably say high joy to low tier Kage that in terms of that fight. The man went up against a teal beast. Summoning jutsu, combination, transformation, 2,000 clones, ridiculous amounts of chakra. On an average day, no, I wouldn't really necessarily put Naruto there, but you know, like, that fight was an example of like some exceptional moments. So maybe like a high tier Jonin like for Boruto wouldn't be too bad. And then I would also I want to assume maybe he hasn't had any issues with karma just yet. So if we put that into the equation, yeah, then definitely you would have to push him to the arguably the god tier. more or less. So yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, I'm kind of wondering like what would be the logical point in this story to bring Code back, because I don't know, man. I can understand why you'd probably want to kill him, because I don't know, it just kind of feels like there's, what's he going to do? I know persons like say like for Neverworld I've kind of compared him to Shigaraki from My Hero in terms of maybe he'll make a comeback like that, but I don't know, like in terms of his resources, because if he himself as a character wasn't really the threat and it was more so because of his resources through the 10 tails, but he's lost that, so it's like, what? No, unless there's some other Otsutsuki based relic or power up or something for him to really help spiral the story into more chaos is there that maybe Ishiki or Jigen told him about off screen. That's the only thing I can really think of. Or maybe he'll do like some surprise attack, because I mean I don't think the Shinju really care about him like that. Even if he showed up, I don't think they would attack him, as seen by like how the Shinju have dealt with people in general. Like, yo, if you're not their target, they're still like, oh hey, I'm not here after you, just step back. But if you do continue, they'll kill you. But yeah, so it's like I can't really place in my head what Code, like his role anytime soon would be. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up. Well, who knows? I might eat my words at chapter 14. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up for a very long time. Maybe Jura killed him. No! Nah, if they kill Code off screen, that would be crazy to me. That would be... That would be like the heights of disrespect on Kishimoto's part. Maybe Kishimoto say like, yo dog, listen. I know you spent 10 days on this design, but listen. We gotta get this guy out of the story. He's not really serving any purpose. We'll just have some text in the side of one page that, oh, he was killed off screen. Or something, then it's ridiculous. The only way I could probably see things going is if, because the Ten Tails evolved in this new way thanks to the White Karma and Code's chakra, right? It's kind of like, because I'm thinking of it like this. The Ten Tails is supposed to eat an Otsutsuki and bloom into a divine tree, but instead, in this instance, Code, via his claw marks, fed the Ten Tails his chakra, which it has been heavily influenced by the White Karma, which is a just Otsutsuki essence. It's led them to evolve into this new and unique way. Unless they continue to, or unless they get more curious about this current evolution path, where they like say, I wonder what would happen if we just eat Code. You know, maybe one of them might start thinking that way, like, okay, let's see what happens. You see me? I could see it going down along something of like those lines when it comes on to Code. Maybe, just maybe. Because I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of nuance that we still don't know when it comes on to White Karma and even the regular Karma, I would say. I mean, Boruto's even admitted it, that there's still some things about Karma that we don't know. Like, I mean, like really and truly what makes a person compatible with it, we still don't know. So there's that. I know you guys were saying like also, you know, maybe Amado for next chapter. What would be Amado's next move now? Play it slow, talk it out. Cause I mean he has Kawaki already, so it's like, oh, we just kind of continue to watch over Kawaki. So it's kind of whatever with Boruto, I suppose. But I guess he will talk to Boruto as well. Yo, this monthly thing is killing me. Shit, man. Monthly thing is killing me. But yeah, other than that, other than what I'm predicting, they're theorizing, I don't know. It's either between a sneak attack or the Shinju just become all that more curious about their current evolution path and decide like, oh, let's just see what happens if we eat Code. That's the only way. That's the only way. I don't know anything else in terms of involving this man. What's interesting though, what I will say, is that when you think about it, Boruto's kind of already achieved his goal. Oh, not the whole, you know, beat up Kawaki and restore Uzumaki family, but being a shinobi like Sasuke, aka being a shinobi like Itachi. You know, someone that's working in the shadows, who's kind of taking on all that hatred of the world essentially, but still doing what he has to do. He's already become a shinobi like, you know. I would love if after they free Sasuke, if Sasuke's like, hey, you know, you've become a shinobi that reminds me of my brother. That's like the highest praise. So it would be interesting to see how Boruto reacts to that as the story goes along. And I mean, even the idea like Sasuke and Naruto coming back, I mean, what do they do? They're so outclassed, man. I mean, it'd be good to have them back, but shit. It's crazy. It is crazy. What's going on? We'll do it. Well, Guess we'll see how it pans out for the most part. Dang. Hold on. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so you guys know, well, I would assume you guys know, I'm mainly just an anime only when it comes on to JJK. I mean, I have read a select few of the recent chapters. I've heard, I do have a coworker that it does read the manga, kind of keeps me updated. But yeah, I mean, everybody who has pretty much heard at this point that yo, there's only a certain amount of chapters left for JJK. And it's so interesting because that when I heard that, it took me way back to 2014 when they announced that there was only 5 chapters left for Naruto. So I'm kind of wondering how the JJK fans are feeling right now. I mean, a lot of persons, I've watched 1 and 2 videos, persons do seem to imply that the ending for it is seemingly being rushed. So I don't know if any of you guys are JJK manga readers. I'd love to hear what you guys think, or even if that's not the case, like if it can take you back in time, back to 2014, similar to me when there's only 5 chapters left of Naruto. You could go back to that time and tell me how you guys felt back then, because yo, like when I heard there was only 5 chapters left of Naruto, I'm like, yo, shit. Like, because we were basically in the middle of the final Naruto versus Sasuke fight, and I'm like, yo, how is this going to resolve? Like, is Naruto going to even be able to become Hokage within these 5 chapters? It's crazy. The chapters and people are jumping to conclusions too quickly. They need to let it complete fully before they go all in. Yeah, true. But you know how it is. I mean, as each chapter comes out, people will definitely want to give their opinions all the same. I mean, rightfully so. Can't really blame them. If it's even just for the content, then I can't really blame them. And I mean, maybe it's unlikely, but who knows? Maybe even the final chapter of JJK could be like, I don't know, like double the length just to kind of cover some bases. Or who knows, maybe Gege is like, listen man, I'll finish this. I'll just work with the anime stuff to like, you know, flesh out stuff when it comes on to, when it gets to this section of the story. Kind of some extended scenes here and there. Who knows, that could be the case as well, you never know. Bleach. Yeah, I think the Bleach situation was even worse, dog, because, let me see. Bleach had what, 686 chapters? Getting to 681, I just couldn't see how they're gonna beat Yuha, bro. It just didn't make sense to me. So I'm even hoping with that, when we even get to Core 4, the 1000-Year Blood War anime adaptation, that, you know, it will fix up a lot of stuff. I'm hoping, and get the God of Thunder. Yeah. Listen, you know the final I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, like even with Bleach, like it just like. And even speaking of that, when are we getting the Hell Arc, Kubo? Like, it's been, what, 3-4 years since the one-shots? Like, shit, man, come on. We want that Hell Arc. I mean, Bleach is in a good spot right now in terms of, like, content and the Bleach Renaissance, because, let's be honest, by the time the 1000-Year Blood War ends next year, we hope, because, you know, Core 3 is in October and that will last until the end of the year, and I assume we'll spend another 6 months waiting until Core 4, or maybe, who knows, maybe more. I actually predict we'll have to wait quite a while for Core 4, maybe until next year October too, because if they're going to expand it like I'm expecting, you know, having more time never hurts. So yeah. But yeah, after that, we can get into the Hell Arc. We can adapt the novels. We can adapt the novels, all sorts of jazz and blues. So it's a good look for Bleach. I just want Kubo to start that Hell arc. I mean, it could be a case where even maybe after Core 4, that's when we'll get you know, Kubo starting the Hell arc, because obviously he has to be helping out at with the anime. So yeah. You just give me Bleach that. Listen, man. I'm just saying, the God of Thunder. The God of Thunder panel, we need that animated. Yo, that's all I'm saying. But yeah, I guess. Why every time someone mentioned the Hell, you get postponed 6 months? Why? Never going to get it. Can you imagine Kubo online and say, yo, they read true comments. Man's like, dog, when's Kubo going to do the Hell arc? Man say, yo, man, they gonna drop it tomorrow, you know, but since it's a money, awesome, we're gonna just delay it till next year. Or something like that. Yo, honestly, I could see Kubo trolling us like that. It's crazy. It's crazy, dog. But potential is there. Bleach! Speaking of Bleach as well, I feel so lazy these days, guys, honestly. Like, I've gotten so, we're going into the 9th month of the year, and I've gotten so used to not doing like dedicated videos as opposed to like these live streams. It's like but since, you know, I did do Core 1 and Core 2 for Bleach, right? It's been so long, I've even forgotten if I did Core 2. Hold on. Let's see. Playlist. Bleach. Well, I've 18 videos, so I would assume. Yeah, so I did do up to Core 2. So yeah, I guess when October comes around, I'll be doing reaction reviews to Bleach. Of course, Diamond's dropping, as I keep reminding myself every month, so there's that to do as well. But I mean, outside of that, I really need to get back into doing like dedicated like discussion videos, or even probably nothing too fancy like production wise, just, you know, just usual talk, cover stuff, you know. I need to get back into the habit of doing that, because it feels like that video, working on video muscle, it's like super weak right now. So yeah, that's the thing right now. Yes, there's also Sparking Zero yo bro, too much stuff in October. So Bleach, Daima, Sparking Zero. I feel like I just quit working or something. Yo, it's crazy, dog. Speaking of Sparking Zero, probably within the next few weeks, probably by in the coming months, on a pre-order, because you know that play early 3-day plus all those other benefits sound good to me. What do you I know this is kind of like the whole do what you want, Sanjay, but what do you think? Just kind of multi-stream Sparking Zero, like Sparking Zero Part 1, Part 2, or, you know, probably try it along the style of like a Seriax, like kind of do like edited videos for Sparking Zero. First, the machine comes in and give the energy to your process. Yeah, that's true, Kage, because yeah, it's like, but most of this year is like, I'm saying like, shit, I should be getting back to doing videos again. It's like, I just haven't been feeling it. Like, to be honest, even for the thumbnail, just to do the thumbnail for this live stream, like, I was there, I'm saying like, yo, shit. Like, you know, like, you know how they would say you get writer's block? I got a thumbnail block. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do with this thumbnail. It's crazy. But I guess we'll get to it. Sparking Zero. I find it funny that a lot of these Dragon Ball, well, a lot of YouTubers are doing Sparking Zero content. Like,
yo, Blade,
hold on. Finest work. I find it funny in terms of the Sparking Zero content creators. Like, yo, every little thing, and one of them just gets and do, like, they just do a video on. They could like drop like, oh, Majin Buu doing new move. Oh, let me do a video on that. You know, I find it funny. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Still, this I know this is not the latest trailer. They had that kind of 50 Days to Sparking Zero trailer, but I really love the Android Saga trailer that we have here.
Attack when you're ready.
Just as planned. A for effort.
Oh, you're gonna cry?
I happen to know that Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. Matter of fact, you're looking at one.
You never beat me.
Stand down, my son.
Heads up. Take this.
I shall drain you of your energy. You're only a bug.
You are much stronger than expected, but still are not beyond my calculations.
I will let some puppet kill Kakarot before I do.
Try me. See what happens.
I'd hoped for better.
Okay, come get me if you can.
Yeah, because it's kind of like when they start doing content on every little thing, I don't know. I feel like it kind of gets annoying too. It's like, oh shit, new image of this. Then the next day, new image of that. Sometimes I feel like they could just, you know,
My power is significantly
kind of just like compile a lot of stuff. But you know, it's content, they benefit, more money, so why not?
What's the matter? Is that all? Who are you to look down on me?
This is me being serious.
I'll rip you.
Perfect.
You're going to fight me first, Goku? I love it.
Ooh, clean.
No regrets, boy.
I hate fighting.
You know, this is the thing I thought they would have corrected for this, because this Gohan is not a teen, but I guess it's the, how should I say, it's culturally acceptable to just still list it as teen. Yo, did you hear about the new Bleach game too? Rating good? Yeah, I did. I don't know how to feel about the new Bleach game though. That's the thing. Like, I feel like with the Bleach game, I'll have to get my hands on it and experience it myself. Granted, I don't think there's been like a console Bleach game in a while, like a long while. So we're eating good, but I just don't know how to. I don't feel hyped, but I don't feel, you know, bad about it. I just think I need to get the Bleach game and then try it for myself.
I thought you said you were going to defeat me. All right, so Juniors, playtime's over. Do as Daddy says and kill them all. I must use my last resort.
Yo, this part of the trailer. Alright, as an English dub, someone that grew up watching the Funimation dub for Dragon Ball Z, etc, right? And it's only since Battle of like the Dragon Ball Renaissance, since Battle of Gods, I've really gotten into like watching, you know, Japanese Dragon Ball and getting an appreciation for those actors and soundtracks and all of that. But as much as Gohan's anger, that OST it's pretty cool. Listen, this soundtrack for the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan transformation, I don't know, something about it just hits right, dog. And them including it here in the trailer. Chef's kiss. Yeah, I hope they have like a music download DLC pack or something. Still prefer old Gohan. The old Gohan voice actress though.
Any way you slice it, there's only one way to save her. Tell your mom I'm sorry.
Dad, you're not.
Yeah. I mean, for the Falcon and then for the Japanese, you know, for some scenes it works better. One soundtrack works better than the other, but you know, they're both goated.
Forgive me, Dad. Earth is
Let's go!
Listen to me. I promise you can beat it. Just gotta believe in yourself, Gohan.
Just
Right now, you're the
strongest person in the universe. I mean, just the Goku dialogue there, and then the transition to the Sparking Zero, the music. I think this might be like one of the best trailers, like definitely top 3 Sparking Zero trailer.
Forgive me, Dad. Earth is doomed, and it's all my fault.
Listen to me. I promise you can beat it. Just gotta believe in yourself, Gohan. Right now, you're the strongest person in the whole universe.
Go to. Can't wait to play this game. Definitely will be taking all challenges. Don't kick my ass too bad. Yo, honestly. Mission Soul Saga. Yo, goated dog, goated. Speaking of which, Dragon Ball Super. Shits. I mean, we still haven't had. Well, I mean, I guess Super we just on pause for now. I'm just looking forward to Daima. Given the circumstances of this year, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get anything Dragon Ball Super in terms of announcements, like official announcement, no rumors, no nothing. More so at Jump Fest though, but we'll see. We shall see. Anyway, I think that's pretty much me for tonight. Let's see what can happen for September, guys. Definitely respect for coming out tonight. Gonna see if I can warm up some of that pizza I bought and just chillax and watch some Naruto Shippuden with Ray. So it's pretty much me for the rest of the night. So yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for coming out as per usual. I think next month I definitely want to go back to the whole, you know, you guys jumping on Discord for the voice chat as well. So yeah, so I'm trying to take it easy as well, as you guys are saying. As you were saying, Millennium, just see if I can get the passion just come to me for the most part. And then just jump back into making videos again. So that's where we're at. So yeah, I mean, what more can I say? So respect for coming out, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night and pretty chill Sunday before going back to work, school, or whatever the case is for Monday. Shit, the weekend is so short. So yeah. Anyway, Sandra Uchiha, and I'll see you in the next one.